I'd like to call to order tonight's meeting of the Hammond Plan Commission for September 16th, 2024. Please rise with me and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Novak, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Roger Brock.
Here.
Dean Button.
Here.
Mike Dye. Ronald Sims.
Here.
William Hutton.
Here.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Here.
Dan Spitali.
Here.
Thomas Dabberton.
Yes.
Marcus Taylor. So 7 present, 2 absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda would be approval of the minutes of August 19th, 2024. You should have noticed in your packet that the secretary has requested a motion to table the approval of the minutes of August 19th. Is there such a motion?
Mr. President, I move to table.
Moved by Commissioner Kazmierzak. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Brock. It's been moved and properly seconded to table the minutes, approval of the minutes for August 19th, 2024. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
Mike Dye. Ronald Sims.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali.
Yes.
Thomas Dabberton.
Yes.
Marcus Taylor. 7 A's, 0 absent. Motion passes.
Thank you. Next item, I guess I should. Next item is item 4, old business. Is there any old business?
There's no old business.
Thank you. Item 5, new business. First item is CP 24-7, petition of NH Vegas LLC for approval of a 1-lot subdivision of Luke's 267 station addition to the city of Hammond located at 1051 and 1053 Indianapolis Boulevard, which is zoned C4 within the city of Hammond, Lake County, Indiana. Mr. Novak, has the notification requirements for this petition been met?
Yes, they have.
Thank you. Petitioner's Dan Tersman. Nice to see you tonight, Dan. You just please identify yourself for the record, and if you could present your case, please.
Good evening. I'm Dan Tersman. I'm here on behalf of Luke Family of Brands and NH Vegas, 3592 North Hobart Road, Hobart, Indiana.
Thank you.
I appreciate everyone's time this evening. I'm here to request approval, preliminary and final approval of the plat of subdivision for 1051 Indianapolis Boulevard. This was a project that we presented about a year ago. Originally planning on, there is an existing Luke convenience store and gas station at this property. We had proposed a plan to essentially raise and rebuild the site. At the time, we were envisioning doing 2 separate two separate buildings on the property. One being a new gas station convenience store, and then we had at the time planned to do a second speculative real estate, commercial retail building. Through the process and with costs and with everything else, and as we did a little more analysis, we made the decision to table that project at the time, and eventually abandoned the idea of doing the second building. And so we had went through the process of getting the subdivision approved to create the second lot and to create some easements in order to do that development. And so we'd now like to come back to ask to approve a new plat that would essentially revert the parcel back to a single parcel, and vacate the easements that we had created for the cross access and for the shared utilities. So the plan would still be to do a convenience store there, so completely demolish and rebuild the site. So it would be our new prototype store, all new, equipment, all new fuel equipment and everything. And we're looking to orient the site a little differently to allow a little more better visibility to the city, or to the city's right of way, and allow a little better ingress, egress, and circulation around the site when it comes to fuel deliveries and that stuff of that nature. So one technical aspect of this, as I mentioned on the previous plat, we did do we did an easement dedication between the two parcels. So we've been working with utilities to requesting that to be vacated. We've essentially gotten acceptance and letters back from all of the utilities, with exception to NIPSCO. They have approved it through their electric, and they just need to go through it through the gas. And so we would hope to then get that easement release document, all of those easement release documents recorded in order to record the final plat.
Thank you,
That's
Mr.
it.
Tersman.
Sure.
Okay, great. Any questions for Mr. Tersman from the commissioners? Okay. Mr. Poland, go ahead.
You were keeping me informed of the progress on getting the utility easement releases.
Yes.
And, I think one of those things that we had sent from Dean's email to you, there's those technical things, but I also want us to revisit making sure the language is appropriate for the removal of the access easement that is on the old property. Just make sure it is going to be properly cleared on the new plat.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Appreciate that.
You bet.
Okay, at this time, we're going to open it up for a public meeting. So if there's anyone that wishes to speak in favor of the petition, now is your time to come forward. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the petition, you're welcome to speak here. Anyone wishing to make a comment on the petition? And is there anyone on live streaming, virtual media who would like to make a comment? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing portion of the meeting. Imagine would you like to add anything more, Mr. Tersman, to the record?
No, I have nothing else to add. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Okay,
But yeah.
questions for Mr. Tersman? Okay, thanks, Dan. Mr. Poland, I would turn it over to staff for their analysis and evaluation and recommendation.
Okay, as noted in the presentation, this is, in essence, a re-subdivision to take the property back to a single lot, and it is undoing all of the utility easements, access easements, and there's a drainage easement that were on that second plat in order to clear the property to make it into a single lot, and that's developable. Since the petitioner was already directly contacting all the utilities for the easement releases, staff did not send the plat out for the agency review. That would have been redundant. There was an item from the CP 22-15 case regarding a technical matter on that plat regarding some NDOT right-of-way notations that weren't consistent and have since been resolved, so just to note that for the record. Staff's opinion is the plat meets the requirements set forth in the subdivision control ordinance and recommends for preliminary and final approval of the subdivision plat subject to receiving and recording the release of utility easements, adding the recordation information to the subdivision plat, noting the release of the access easement on the plat, and any technical corrections.
Thank you, Mr. Poland. Any questions for Mr. Poland? Ryan, you and I noted that there were a couple of minor corrective actions or corrections to be made. I assume that those would fall under item 3, technical corrections to the
Yes,
plat.
and Mr. Tersman has those.
Great, awesome. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Poland. Chair would entertain a motion to, well, if there's nothing further, the chair would entertain a motion to, let's see, to accept the plat as meeting the requirements set forth in the subdivision control ordinance, and a recommendation for the preliminary and final approval of the of the subdivision plat, subject to, number one, receiving and recording the release of utility easements and adding the recordation information to the subdivision plat. Second, noting the release of the access easement on the plat. And third, any technical corrections. There's such a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Kazmierzak. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second from Mr. Brock. Commissioner Brock. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock,
Yes.
Dean Button,
Yes.
Mike Dye, Ronald Sims,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak,
Yes.
Dan Spitali,
Yes.
Thomas Dabberton, Marcus Taylor. So we have 7 ayes, 2 absence. Motion passes.
Thank you. Chair would also entertain a motion to accept the staff report as a finding of fact.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Kazmierzak. Second by Commissioner Dabberton. It's been moved and properly seconded to accept the staff report as a finding of fact. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock,
Yes.
Dean Button,
Yes.
Mike Dye, Ronald Sims,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak,
Yes.
Dan Spitali,
Yes.
Thomas Dabberton, Marcus Taylor. 7 ayes, 2 absent. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Mr. Tersman. Thank you for your presentation, and look forward to working with you again soon.
As well. Thanks.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is CP 24-09, a petition to the Plan Commission will meet to review the amending declaratory resolution 2024-11 of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission regarding amending the East Hammond Urban Renewal Redevelopment Area and the Urban Renewal Plan for the East Hammond Urban Renewal Area, IND R-91, open paren NPD, closed paren Area 2, to modify the boundary description. Mr. Novak, have the notifications requirements been met for this petition?
As I understand it, yes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Poland, I understand that you wish to both speak as the petitioner and as staff, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And therefore, we would ask if the commissioners have any objection for Mr. Poling acting on behalf of both the petitioner and staff.
No objection.
Thank you.
No.
No objection. Please, Mr. Poland, proceed as the petitioner.
Okay. This is step one of a larger project for creating a new redevelopment area. The larger project for the new redevelopment area is referred to as the City Hall redevelopment area, and it will run on Calumet Avenue from 165th Street to about 150th Street. The intent is to take all of the commercial properties, the first properties abutting that street with some variation, but basically the first properties, and capture them into a new redevelopment district. For example, those of you that may be aware of some of the discussions through other bodies about the potential of a new U-Haul development at Kenwood and Calumet Avenue, that would be one of the new projects that we would capture in this redevelopment area. In looking at the maps of all of the other redevelopment areas, other urban renewal areas, we discovered that the boundary of the East Hammond urban renewal area that was originally created in 1972 and then amended in 1975 and in 1977, that some of the commercial property that is on the east side of Calumet from between Kenwood and Highland Street, there's an overlap in the boundaries that we want for the new urban renewal, the new redevelopment area. So what the amending declaratory resolution that's coming from the redevelopment commission that's now coming to the plan commission is intended to amend the boundary of the East Hammond urban renewal area to take out that commercial property along Calumet Avenue. And eventually that would be added into the new City Hall 1 once we get that process started. We also discovered through this process there was a bit of a technical flaw along Columbia Avenue in the boundary descriptions. The area of between south of Field Street to Menards on the east side of Columbia was also captured in, at the time, the Pullman Standard redevelopment area, and then that got incorporated into the Hammond Central redevelopment area. So there was a bit of an overlap there. It wasn't, because some of the parcel boundaries changed, it was not something that was picked up. Well, the new parcel boundaries were picked up in the new redevelopment areas, but the old parcel boundaries that were referenced in the 1972 documents, that's where this technical flaw is. And so there's a reference in this boundary modification that just officially eliminates that overlap. The process that we're going through is the second step of any process to amend an urban renewal area. I keep on saying that, redevelopment area. And it is, again, the declaratory resolution at the redevelopment commission. The Plan Commission's role is to determine whether or not the proposal, the plan from the Redevelopment Commission is in compliance with the comprehensive plan. Then the Plan Commission is a sending body to the City Council with a resolution that would confirm the Plan Commission's determination that it does not conflict with the comprehensive plan. And after the council resolution is passed, then it goes back to the Redevelopment Commission for a confirmatory resolution. Are there any questions at this point?
I guess you'll get to the point where we ask the council for action to be taken. Is that by resolution then, or is that
It is, but that'll be in the staff report part.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Boland up to this point? Please proceed, Mr. Boland.
Okay, so I'll turn to my seat.
You're done as the petitioner?
As petitioner, yes.
So I would ask, as staff, do we open this for a public hearing?
I would say that we should go through the steps.
Thank you very much. At this point in time, with the petitioner completing his presentation and the notification requirements being met, the chair would open up a public hearing for this amending declaratory resolution. So is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? Anyone in the audience wishing to just comment on this petition? Anyone on electronic media who wishes to make a comment on this petition? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing portion of this petition. Mr. Poland, you'll comment as staff.
Yes, okay, so it might be a little confusing with all the resolutions and the resolution numbers, but the amending declaratory resolution is, from the Redevelopment Commission, is 2024-11. What is before the Plan Commission for discussion is the PC 24-01 resolution. So again, as the petitioner presented, this is a matter.
Excuse me, is that 2409?
I'm sorry, what did I say?
Oh, 2401.
2401. I'm sorry, did I say it wrong?
No, the resolution number is that, but the case number is 24.
Right, the resolution number is 2401.
Okay, thank you.
The case number is 2401.
You did say 2401. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, confusing, understood. So as stated, this is a simple boundary change that was presented earlier. The Plan Commission's role is to determine whether or not this plan amendment is consistent with the comprehensive plan, and that there's a couple of other things on the second page of the staff report that are statutory statements that have to be made. Talking about the items that are identified in the top of the second page as A through G. And that being said, if there aren't any questions on that part, staff recommendation is there's a series of motions that we have to make in order to get all the things into place. The first motion would do items 1 through 4, make a determination that the amendment to the urban renewal plan for the East Hammond urban renewal area is in conformity with the 1992 comprehensive plan. Adopt this report as its findings of fact. Adopt Plan Commission Resolution 2401, and determine that both this report and its findings of fact and PC Resolution 2024-01 constitute the Plan Commission's written order for compliance with the official plans of the City of Hammond in accordance with IC 36-7-14-16 Parens A. And then followed up is then to forward the Plan Commission's written order, and we have the proposed council resolution to the Common Council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Poland. Any questions for Mr. Poland as staff? Seeing none, the chair would entertain a motion that the Plan Commission adopt, number 1, that we make a determination that the amendment to the urban renewal plan for East Hammond urban renewal area is in conformity with the 1992 comprehensive plan. 2, adopt this report as its finding of fact. 3, adopt Plan Commission Resolution 2024-01. And 4, determine that both this report as its findings of fact and the Plan Commission Resolution 2024-1 constitute the Plan Commission's written order for compliance with the official plans of the City of Hammond in accordance with Indiana Code 36-7-14-16A. Chair would entertain that motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Dabberton, seconded by Commissioner Kazmierzak. It's been moved and properly seconded to approve the motion. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock,
Yes.
Dean Button,
Yes.
Mike Dye, Ronald Sims,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak,
Yes.
Dan Spitali, Thomas Dabberton, Marcus Taylor. That's 7 ayes, 2 absent, motion passes.
Thank you. Chair would further entertain a motion to adopt, Chair would entertain a motion to forward the Plan Commission's written order and the proposed council resolution to the Common Council with a favorable recommendation. Is there such a motion? Thank you.
Second.
Councilman Spitali, seconded by Commissioner Brock. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock,
Yes.
Dean Button,
Yes.
Mike Dye, Ronald Sims,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak,
Yes.
Dan Spitali, Thomas Dabberton, Marcus Taylor. 7 ayes, 2 absent, motion passes.
Thank you. Is there any other new business?
No, more new business.
Thank you. Item 6 is correspondence.
No correspondence.
Item 7 is commissioners' comments. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing none, item 8 is staff comments.
At this time, I do not anticipate an October meeting for the Plan Commission. And as we move into November with the holidays, we'll find out whether or not the council's going to change their November or their December meetings that would cause the Plan Commission to have to change their meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Poland. Item 9 is public comment. Anyone in the audience wishing to address the Plan Commission? Anyone in the audience? Anyone in the audience? Seeing none, Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Commissioner Dabberton. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Spitality. All in favor signify by saying aye. 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 All opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.
Okay, great.